dinner bell. Kain na! It smells so good. It smells so good. I can't get over it.
Welcome back to our channel. We're the Traveling Chefs and we're still in Manila, Philippines. So we're gonna continue to make Filipino food. Before we continue, please don't forget to press the subscribe button and the notification bell to get more videos from us. Let's get started.
So everybody keeps commenting on things that we should make. We're making a lot of Filipino food lately, obviously because we're in the Philippines. So after the last couple recipes, we've got a lot of requests for Kare Kare, which at its most basic point is meat in a peanut sauce with vegetables. A lot of times it's done with oxtail, tripe, beef shank, whatever you can find. So I got some really nice beef shanks here. So that's what I'm gonna attempt to make today. I just woke up, so I'm not clean, I'm not shaven, and I'm very tired, but these are gonna take a long time to cook, so I wanna get them started now so they're ready for dinner. So I have these big, glorious beef shanks that we found. I could not find any oxtail, and the tripe didn't look too good in the supermarket. So I got these. These are absolutely gorgeous. I like Kare Kare. I've had it many, many times. So I'm gonna try to make it. I've never made it before. There's two things I was told when making this, and the secret is adobo spice roasted peanuts and soda water. I don't know why, it's just what I was told. I've never tried this before, so let's give it a go. So I'm going to soak our beef shanks in soda water for a little while. A lot of our friends here said it's just gonna tenderize the meat and make it softer. I don't know if that's an actual thing, but I'm gonna take their advice since they know this much better than I do. So we have our beef shanks. I'm just gonna pour a little soda water. Again, I don't know if this is actually gonna do anything, but I've never tried it before, so why not? And then we're just gonna let that sit for a little while. Maybe 30 minutes before we start getting them cooked. And these will take I would say about 4 hours to cook until they're super tender. Then we're gonna make our sauce, blanch our vegetables, and have dinner. I'm gonna go take a shower, get cleaned up, and then we'll get these cooking. Okay, bye. So back to the Kare Kare. I've had our beef shanks soaking in some soda water for about 20 minutes, 30 minutes. Let's see if it makes a difference. I'm not sure if it's going to. So we're gonna drain these, we're gonna season them, and then we're gonna get our broth going for the braise. So take them out, just gonna season them salt and pepper, and then we're gonna sear off till we get a nice dark brown skin on these before we braise. And our braising liquid is gonna consist of beef broth, onions, garlic, and just some bay leaves. Super, super easy. All right, well, we let that salt soak in. I'm gonna chop our onions and garlic. Okay, so I chopped up 5 cloves of garlic, 2 small onions, or you can do 1 large onion. Cool fun fact, there is a trick to not have your eyes get watery when you're cutting onions. The secret is you don't get emotionally attached to the onions before you cut them. So I'm gonna heat up our pot and we're gonna sear our beef shanks off. Okay, so my aromatics are chopped. My oil's nice and hot. We're gonna sear these off one at a time. Tops, bottoms, and all the sides to leave in all that juices. So super hot here. And we're just gonna sear them off. Next, with our still hot bowl, we're gonna add our onions. A little more oil. Saute those for a minute, then we'll add our garlic, our broth, our beef back to the pan and let it simmer for about 4 hours. These are pretty big pieces, so I would say about 4 is gonna be right. You can see how hot my pot is. So I wanna get a nice brown caramelization on the onions. That'll transfer over to our braising liquid. Okay, we're about at the right spot. Now I'm gonna add our garlic. Same thing, just saute for a minute. We're gonna add our beef shanks back to the pot. Bay leaves, and about 6 cups of beef broth, just enough to cover. There we go. Again, just enough to cover the beef shanks. And now we're going to turn the temp down to low. Cover it. See you in 4 hours.
Before we continue, don't forget to press the subscribe button for more videos like this.
So our beef shanks are still cooking, they're just about done. While those are finishing, I'm gonna get our vegetables ready for when we finish our sauce. So once the beef is done, we can throw everything in and that'll be our dinner. So we have pechay or bok choy, long beans, eggplant, and this. So this is a banana heart. Obviously it comes from a banana tree. I've never worked with one of these before. I've never cleaned one before. I've eaten them, but I've never actually fabricated one. I did a couple already, but I thought it'd be kind of cool thing to show how to actually clean one of these. I asked a few friends that cook with these often and they showed me how to do it. So I'm gonna show you. It's pretty cut and dry. It's almost like an artichoke. You wanna peel off all these outside layers. These ones are not edible and they're very fibrous. We wanna get to the center where it's a very nice light yellow color that's going to look like that. It's going to be edible. So I'm just going to peel off these outside fibrous leaves. Kind of feel where the stem is. That's what we don't want. And inside these banana leaves, they're full of very bitter sap as well. So after we clean this, we're going to soak it in cold ice water for about 15 to 20 minutes. And try to squeeze out some of that sap. It'll just taste a lot better. I've been eating these or tasting them raw for a little while and it's not very pleasant, that sap, so we're gonna try to get that out before we actually cook them. Same thing, I'm just gonna keep cutting down the stem, peel out the outer leaves until they start getting soft. You can feel how soft they get in your fingers when you get there. The cool thing about this is there's actually little flower blossoms in there, which are pretty cool. So that's about where we want to go. These leaves are nice and soft now. Just gonna cut it down the middle. Looks like that. It's very, very sticky. And then from here, I'm just gonna take off a little bit more of that really woody stem, and we're just gonna section it. So there's our woody stem, and these are the parts that we actually want to eat. So I have some cold salted water here. I'm just going to throw these inside. And again, they're going to sit for about 15-20 minutes, and I'll occasionally squeeze them to get some of that sap out. So while the beef's finishing, I'm just going to do these vegetables, and then we'll go on to the sauce. Alright, water's hot. We're just going to blanch our vegetables really quick. So, pechay in. And then maybe 2 minutes, 3 minutes, just till it starts getting soft, and then we'll put it right into our ice water. And then we'll do the same thing for our green beans and our banana heart. Okay, so that's good, about 2 minutes. Right in our ice water. Same thing, our long beans. Let's add like so. About 2-3 minutes, and that's it, and they'll be done. Long beans are done. Right in our cold water again. Stop the cooking process. Let's check on our banana blossoms. Okay, those are good. Now same thing, we're gonna blanch these off. These will take a little bit longer. I'd say 5 to 8 minutes. Okay, our banana blossoms are good, I think. So we're just gonna pull those out, same thing, right into the cold water. I'm just gonna do a very fast sear on our eggplant so the outside gets a little bit crisp. So when we mix in the sauce, it doesn't completely fall apart and it retains some of its texture still. Just the eggplant, no salt, no pepper. That's what we're looking for. Just a nice little browning on the outside. And yes, I know I'm doing this with my fingers. There's very little sensation left in my fingertips. Ow! Just kidding. And we're good. Let's get our broth. Okay, so our beef shanks are ready. Ooh, nice and tender, but not completely melting. Favorite part, the bubble gum. So we're gonna separate these from our liquid. Oh, yeah. This one's a little fall off the bone. Oopsie, too tender. Okay, so we have those.
Ooh.
And we're gonna strain out our liquid. So these have been cooking for about four hours now. The liquid is cooked down so much. I started with about 6 or 7 cups. There's only about 4 cups left. So it's super, super concentrated and it's very salty. So I'm gonna add some water to it. Okay, so we have our beef broth from our beef shanks, and now we're gonna build our Kare Kare sauce. So obviously the most important part, we have peanut butter, 1.5 cups of peanut butter, 1 tablespoon patis. I have some adobo flavored roasted peanuts that I'm gonna top it with. We have annatto powder, and then a little bit of dried chili flake. So we have our annatto powder. It's 1.5 tablespoons. I'm just going to take some of our hot broth, and I want to mix that in. Just like that, and I want to mix it up until it dissolves. This is going to go back in our pot as well. It's going to add a really nice vibrant color as well as a very nice flavor. Alright, so we have our hot liquid, patis, a little bit of dried chili, our annatto powder in broth, I'm going to be very careful with this because it stains everything. Just want to incorporate that really well. A cup and a half of peanut butter. I should really get an apron, huh?
Yeah.
That would save so many of my clothes. You can always add more peanut butter or less peanut butter than if you like. It all depends. I think about a cup and a half. This might be a little bit more, maybe closer to 2 cups. I've read some recipes that people will throw peanuts inside, the crushed peanuts, sprinkle on top. Sometimes they just use chunky peanut butter. I kind of like the idea of sprinkling on top so you still have the texture of the peanuts in there so they don't completely turn to mush inside the sauce. So everything's mixed in. This is our sauce. We're going to let this cook for about 10 minutes so those flavors can really meld together. Then we're going to add in our vegetables, put our beef back in, and serve it over a big hot pile of rice. So our liquid's been cooking for a few minutes. I'm going to put our beef shanks back in this liquid and let them simmer for a few minutes. Then I'm going to add our vegetables, and that's all she wrote. Oh god, that's good. Oh, that's super good. And I also, while that was cooking, I made a slurry. It's cornstarch and a little bit of water. I'm gonna use that to thicken up our sauce too, so it sticks to the vegetables and meat really, really well when we decide to eat dinner. See you in a bit. So these have been simmering for a few minutes. Since there's not enough room in this pot to cook my vegetables and the beef at the same time, I have to do them in batches. So I'm gonna take the meat out again, throw our cornstarch in, our vegetables. Oh, it smells so good, you wouldn't even believe. So we're just gonna add a little bit of cornstarch slurry. This will help thicken up the sauce a bit. We're just gonna bring this to a simmer. And as it comes to a simmer, it'll start thickening. You can also use a slurry of rice flour and water too. Oh, it smells so good. Yeah, nice and thick sauce. While it's simmering, we're going to put in our vegetables. We have our banana heart. We have our eggplant. Our pechay. And our long beans. You'll notice I left a little pocket in the middle. Why? Because all this beautiful meat is going to go right back into the pot. Oh yeah. We're just going to warm our vegetables through. So maybe 5 minutes. And dinner is served. It smells so good. It smells so good. I can't get over it.
See you later.
Okay, we're ready. just the one finishing touch.
Wow.
And then we ring the dinner bell. Kain na! Kain na!